Hello, my name's Tom Wilson with PACE TV. Today we'll be talking to Mark and Tori Baird about employment for veterans. You'd think if you're active duty military, all your needs are met. That's not always the case. Many soldiers are on food stamps, and between life, deployments, bills, etc., have a hard time making ends meet serving our country. Mark and Tori found this out firsthand when a knock came to their door. Let's hear more about that and how HirePatriots.com came about. Mark and Tori, welcome to PACE TV.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
Thank you for having us, Tom.
Well, how was it that you guys had HirePatriots.com come about and how that became a job and eventually a joy for you guys as well?
Well, those are two good words to describe it, a job and a joy. It is a lot of work. It does take, all day long, every day, virtually 7 days a week, because there are so many veterans who do need work or an opportunity to work. And so just finding those jobs, finding those employment opportunities, finding those entrepreneurial opportunities, placing them with the right companies, the right person with the right company is a time-consuming job, but at the same time, there's tremendous joy in helping these veterans get back on their feet.
Well, what was kind of the starting point for all this?
Hire Patriots had a unique start. Back in 2004, Mark and I had just moved to Oceanside, California, so we were right next to Camp Pendleton Marine Base. And most of our neighbors were either active duty military or retired. We were meeting a lot of very young Marine wives because this was in the thick of the deployments. And one day we had a young Marine knock on our door, and it was his first day home from his third tour. And he came home to find his wife and his two little babies living in a house with no utilities, and his truck had been repossessed while he was overseas. And so he saw the state his young family was in, and he just started knocking on doors looking for a way to make $100 that day to get the utilities back on. And he knocked on our door. And when he met my husband has a very kind heart, and the first thing he did was start looking for mad money. And he put a whole bunch of money in that young man's hand, and he said, "Thank you, sir, but no, sir. I'm a United States Marine, and I have to work money. So I'm around your house today to earn that money. Could I do some yard work for you? Could I wash your truck? I've got to do something to earn the money. Thank you, sir." And that's how Hire Patriots got started. Mark invited him in, and that young man worked for 5 hours.
Wow.
And he tuned up our truck, and he cleaned up our garage and did some yard work and even fixed a broken chair that we were going to throw out. And after 5 hours, he said, "Sir, I think I've worked enough. You can pay me now." And that's the way Hire Patriots got started. You want to tell?
So how did you go from there to you needed to get a whole bunch more jobs going for military people then?
Well, when I walked him outside, my wife actually had cooked a meal for his family and took it over to his house. So he went over to the house and gave him that and met his family. And on the way over there, I just asked him, how many other Marines do you know that are in this kind of situation? He said, "Well, just every Marine that I know." And I said, "Well, I'm going to do something about that. I give you my word, I'm going to do something about that." Now that came from my heart because I didn't know what I was going to do yet. It didn't come from my head. But when I got back home, I told my wife, I told him I was going to do something about this. We got to think of something.
You're committed now.
So, we ended up creating a website called Hire Marines. And it was just a simple one-day job board for any community resident that needed any help with chores or repairs around their house or their yard to hire a local Marine or a Marine spouse to help them with those chores so they could get the help, and the Marines and the Marine spouses would have an opportunity to earn extra money by helping their neighbors.
So how did you then get people to sign up to offer jobs for these folks to do?
Well, that took a lot of work because you just can't sit in your house and hope that people will post jobs on the internet. So we created cards, and we created flyers, and we created posters, and we went to chamber events and sundowners, and we spoke at Kiwanis clubs and Rotary clubs, and then the TV got a hold of our message, and we were on ABC and CNN and NBC and CBS and Fox and MSNBC.
So with all that publicity, you think you guys would just be, have more work than you know what to do with? I know you guys are busy, but with all that publicity, yet it's still a challenge, isn't it?
Well, the publicity helped tremendously because from a very fledgling website that just was serving North County at the time, all that exposure and all the work that we were doing to promote that exposure, we were getting 40,000 people a month coming to that website for North County. And that means that we were helping tens of thousands of Marines every single month earn extra income, and that was a great joy to us. And then they started writing us emails, and their wives and their children and their parents and their friends started writing us emails, and the people who were hiring them were writing us emails, and every one of them was just glowing. And they were all so happy to have a chance to meet these young men and women who were serving in our country on a personal basis, and to have them over their house and do some work and to pay them some money, but also to make them a dinner or make them a lunch and sit down and get to know them and find out what wonderful men and women these people are.
Because all the things that the military goes through in basic training and those kind of things are obviously things that employers are looking for as far as the discipline and the follow-throughness and different things like that. And so that would also make for good workers for folks who had something in their backyard who needed to be fixed, or not necessarily on a commercial business basis, but on a personal level too.
Well, you touched on what we had to do next. Our website became so popular that really there was a cry and a need for us to also post full-time jobs, because we realized that it wasn't just the military members that were active duty, but also the transitioning active duty that were returning to the civilian world. There was a great need for us to help them, and so we created a full-time job board, and we started to put on our very first job fair. And we did that at Camp Pendleton Marine Base, and we put a lot of work into that, and we had 133 companies attend our first job fair, and we had over 2,000 Marines attend as well.
Wow. So you've done job fairs, you've got the postings now. You guys have gone nationwide with this. How did you do that, or why did you decide not just, you're busy enough in California. Why would you have this go out all over the country then?
Well, we really had no option. When you're in the military, you don't just stay on one base. And so the guys who had been helped by these one-day jobs in a tremendous way, they would get transferred to other bases, or they'd transition out of the military and go somewhere where they couldn't find a job right away. And they'd contact us and say, hey, I'm in Austin, Texas, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, I'm in, wherever they might be in the country, and they go, where's the one-day jobs? Where's Hire Patriots? So we had to move it across the country. We're now in 47 states.
Wow. So obviously you guys don't maintain all those job boards.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you do? Yes. Okay. You don't have other people doing that for you?
Well, we pay other people to do that for us,
okay.
yes.
But we also have lots of veterans that volunteer to help us spread the word, just like what we're doing today. So we have veterans that reach out to the community to give talks, to go on TV, newspaper, and radio, because you've just got to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a constant thing to be out there and keep the word out there and keep people aware, because with the short attention spans that we have these days with all the things on the news, even though you've been on all those big news stations, memories kind of fade. But the needs are still there. It's always going to be
chicken and egg. It's always going to be chicken and egg. We're always going to need the community to post those one-day jobs. And a one-day job is paint a room, fix a fence. I'm moving on Saturday. Need 2 big, strong guys to help me move. And so we're always going to need community support. We're always going to need community volunteers. And the same thing from the business community. The business community needs to post those full-time jobs. And then we reach out to the bases. We reach out to the veteran groups. We reach out to the community to say, hey, there's one-day jobs on that site. You got to come take a look at them. There's full-time jobs on the site. Come take a peek.
So you've gotten like a positive response from the bases in doing that? It's like, well, our soldiers don't need to make more money, then they're just fine. But
the bases love Hire Patriots. They really do. If Mark walks on the base, a lot of times, the commander will stop and have him chat up Hire Patriots and how it can help. They know how much their men are struggling, how much those families are struggling. And it's a wonderful thing. It's also a really wonderful thing for the community, especially with those one-day jobs. The one-day jobs help our active duty military and help our veterans and help our military spouses, but they're also a wonderful help to the senior citizens who, need somebody to just come over and help them with some chores and get some things fixed and get some things cleaned up. And it's a wonderful experience for a senior citizen to have a young, fresh-faced Marine come over and say, yes, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, every time he does a chore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reciprocal thing where I think they probably enjoy the company a lot of times too, the older folks.
They do.
That's right.
As well as getting something done and helping out one of the military folks. So
it's a wonderful blending of the community, and it's a great way for the active duty military to stay connected to the community, and it's also a wonderful way for those transitioning Marines and sailors here in San Diego to have friends. When they transition out, the more jobs they've taken on Hire Patriots, the more people they know to say, hey, I'm out now, I need to find a job.
So you guys have done more than just the day jobs is a great thing, and that's something that keeps you busy.
Yeah.
What else have you guys done with Hire Patriots, and how has that expanded different things that you guys do now?
Well, not every person who gets out of the military wants a job. 33% of all American businesses are owned by United States veterans, who right now make up a little bit less than 10% of the population. So there's 3 times more veterans who own businesses in the United States than civilians. It seems to fit the character of the type of people who serve in the military. And so we also spend a lot of time helping veterans start businesses, and I've actually been doing that for quite a few years now. I do cause marketing because, of course, the cause is that we're trying to help veterans get this business started and be successful and get their feet back on solid ground in the civilian world. And so we help them market their business, to grow their business. I've owned businesses now for over 40 years, and so I have a lot of experience with that. But then there's a lot of older veterans like you and myself who have a lot of business experience, and we can mentor them and help them get to where they're going and get to success and get their feet back on solid ground a lot faster than if they just tried it by themselves. And we also, Hire Patriots even creates business opportunities. Right now we have a business called U.S. Military Maintenance, where we help veterans all across the country, from Maine to Florida to Texas to Idaho to California to Hawaii. We have U.S. military maintenance businesses, which they own themselves. We give them the equipment, and we give them the bid sheets and the business cards and the shirts and everything they need, and then we help them step by step get their businesses going.
So that's like janitorial services and things like that for commercial buildings.
Well, and physical facility maintenance and things of that sort, every aspect of commercial maintenance.
Because that's, even with the guy does not have some of the horrors that can go along with being in combat, just getting out of the military is a transitional time, and it's a tough time for them.
Absolutely. To
whether they want a job or not. Well, you guys have a lot of things going on at HirePatriots.com. You've got a job fair coming up with 9/11. You guys do that every year. And so for all of the activities, we also have some books that you guys have put together that people can check out. They should go to the website, HirePatriots.com, and they can find out all the latest events that you guys have going on with Hire Patriots. And we'll also be hearing from one of your more success stories. Brian will be here shortly, and we'll be talking to him and finding out just how that's affecting some of these guys firsthand with Hire Patriots. We really appreciate Mark and Tori, both of you guys, coming on with us and talking to us about HirePatriots.com. You guys are doing a great thing for veterans, and appreciate all you do. Thanks again for coming to talk to us.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Hi, we're back with more about HirePatriots.com. We have Mark Baird, who is the CEO of HirePatriots.com, as well as Brian Wiggins. Welcome, gentlemen. And Mark, now you've talked about doing marketing and things like that for different businesses and trying to get entrepreneurs up and running with their businesses. Maybe you can give us a little background with as far as Brian goes and how he became such a big fan of Hire Patriots.
Well, you know, we were such a popular website. Our website is ranked as high as 20,000 and out of all the websites in the United States. And I wanted to be able to use that popularity and the resources that we had to help entrepreneurial veterans. And so I created a cause marketing plan to be able to help market veteran-owned businesses or military-friendly businesses, to help them expand their businesses or to recruit employees by using our popular cause. And our cause is represented by our nonprofit Patriotic Hearts, and Hire Patriots is a program of that. And so we help businesses as well as civilian as well as veteran-owned businesses to market and recruit and to develop their business through association with our popular cause.
Well, Brian, you were active duty Marine, and you found yourself in a situation where Hire Patriots kind of helped you out a lot. How did that all come together?
Yeah, absolutely. Right before I went on my third deployment, I did 3 deployments in the Marine Corps. And on my third deployment, bought a house right before I deployed, moved my family into it. And then when I came back, there was a lot of financial issues that occurred, and I had to reach out. And I had nowhere to turn to but Hire Patriots. It was the only organization that could really help me out of my situation, because as you know, Marines especially, it's all I know. We're not looking for handouts,
Right.
and we don't want a handout. So I was able to take a lot of day jobs, and I was able to catch my mortgage back up. And from that point forward, I decided to use Hire Patriots as a way to make extra income, and it helped me out tremendously.
So being on a deployment isn't just a personal hardship. It causes financial challenges too, doesn't it?
Absolutely, because your wife's at home now. Her second hand is gone, leadership, and she's stuck at home to make all the decisions on her own.
Because people think, well, you're just getting a paycheck, so nothing's really different other than the fact that you're just not there on a deployment. So Hire Patriots can come in there, obviously once you get back, but they also, Hire Patriots also can get jobs for spouses if they want.
Absolutely.
Whatever they might be skilled at, whether it's cleaning a house or if it's other talents that they have. It's not just the active duty guys that can get jobs on Hire Patriots.
Well, and it's not just cleaning houses. I mean, this is the best educated group of veterans the United States has ever had, and that includes their spouses. It's not surprising when you run across guys that are E5 and below and their wives, and they have college degrees and even masters.
Right.
So there's a variety of things they can do.
So when you started out, Brian, you were doing moving jobs and different things like that?
Yeah, primarily a lot of people moving, and they wanted help.
Of course, you do that in the military quite a lot,
Yeah.
so that would make sense.
Yeah, we did. I did, I believe, in 3 years, 240 day jobs
Wow.
right before I got out.
So after all that work, then you were able to make some progress with your house.
Absolutely, yeah. I was able to catch. I was 3 months behind on my mortgage, and then it slowly dwindled into 6 months. But I was able to catch that up 100% because of Hire Patriots.
And so once you got out of the military, how did you continue with Hire Patriots, or how did that relationship continue?
So within the 3 years of all the day jobs I did, I built a massive network, and I used that network to start a business with the help of Hire Patriots to get the word out. And that's kind of how I started this solar company that I now own.
So you run a company called Solray, is that right?
Yes, Solray West.
Solray West, and that's here in the San Diego area, Riverside, I guess.
Southern California.
Southern California, okay. And so how did you end up getting a business? Obviously you got out of the military, you didn't just have a business just sprout up as soon as you got out.
Yeah.
Did Hire Patriots help you with that as far as getting your business established and being where you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with networking, how to start the business. Right now I'm a DBA, and then I actually got a big contract because of Hire Patriots. They called Tory, and they asked, "Is there any service disabled veteran-owned businesses?" And they said, "Matter of fact, yeah, there is. We have a solar guy." And then I landed that job, and that's going to lead to a lot more other jobs. But that was the first job that we landed with Hire Patriots.
And so you don't just do all this stuff yourself. You had other guys that you've worked with that are also a part of your company and getting them jobs as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So even though you have civilians working with your teams right now, your main goal is to get teams together of veterans and get them training in solar, right?
Yes, absolutely. The ideal is to, when Marines are transitioning, when I say Marines, veterans across the board, Army, Navy, whatever the case may be, and teach them how to install, and then they can develop their own business, and then we can give them work. That's the ideal.
Okay. So you end up basically giving them the capability of having their own business eventually.
Yes.
And it's not just, well, this is how you do solar. I mean, you've got all those aspects of a business just like with Mark, you helped him with marketing and things like that. There's a lot involved in there, whatever the business may be, whether it's solar or anything else. And so you guys provide that. Hire Patriots helps provide a lot of that assistance to get them there.
Well, you know, people have to know your business exists, and you can't be just like any other business. You need to change the subject a little bit. And so Brian's able to go in and let people know that he's a service-disabled, veteran-owned business whose purpose is to build his business in order to employ more veterans. And that's a good reason to hire someone, to choose them over perhaps some other competitor. And so we give them a cause to associate with besides just being a company offering the same service as hundreds of other companies. And Brian's cause is absolutely outstanding in that he's not just building his business, but he's helping put veterans into their own business all across the country.
Because I think there's a lot of self-image and things like that, issues that guys have once they get out of the military. If, for instance, a lot of the Marines, if they were using a gun pretty much in their job, it's kind of hard to find a job unless you become a policeman in the civilian world. So if they want to do something like solar or something else, then they're really going to need a lot of help to get into that mindset and to learn how to do that.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. When I first started, I had to fire a guy for the first time, and I did it like I did a Marine, and it was ugly, and it took a lot of mentorship to get me to the place I'm at now. And I can understand Marines. I say Marines, but veterans. I speak for Marines, but it's very hard for them to transition out of the Marine Corps, and they need all the help they can get. Yeah,
because it's a different life. A lot of these kids were in high school, and they went right into the military. And so those people skills, they have some of those, some more than their civilian counterparts in being in the military, but the way people work in civilian life is different. How they communicate, how they want things done, how things get done. And so I think that's probably where you come in to give them not just this is how you do solar and the nuts and bolts of that, but also people skills are important.
Very good.
And they need them wherever they can get them, because you've gone through a lot of that, having gone and done this on your own, and you're able to give that back to other veterans, which is a great thing. And how is this going for you as far as trying to get other military guys involved and moving forward with Hire Patriots and working with them?
I think that's a good question. And how we're doing that is Rotary clubs, the job fair that's happening in 9/11, basically getting the word out. And because veterans don't know this program's out there, and they don't know that I'm here to help them in the solar industry. If they want to start a solar install company, they don't know who I am. And that's what we need to do together, is to get the word out there that I am here and that I'm going to help veterans, and I am a veteran.
I think the military has some transition programs, but I think they may come up a little bit short as far as some of the actual jobs and things, other than maybe helping you get a resume together or something. I can't speak personally as far as what all they do. I know they do a lot of good things, but knowing somebody like you, you're probably not on their list of things as they're getting out of the service to make them aware of who you are and what you guys do at Hire Patriots.
No, I don't. Right now, none of the bases know what we're doing, and yeah, we definitely need to put our efforts together. Even the community needs to come together and make this happen. It's very important for veterans.
So besides solar, are you working with, that's your primary focus right now, is working with solar, developing that, and getting veterans involved in that as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And what I do to assist him is that because he represents our nonprofit, he is a spokesman for our nonprofit, because straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, he's gotten over 240 jobs that helped him pay his mortgage. That's a nonprofit program, and so he's able to speak at Rotary clubs and Kiwanis clubs and at chamber events and on TV and on radio and do newspaper interviews, specifically talking about the help that our nonprofit program gives to veterans from a personal point of view. And as he's being able to talk to these people in public speaking on radio and TV and stuff, they're allowing him on to promote a nonprofit program. But of course, at the same time, they're going to ask him, and what do you do for a living? And then at that point, he's also able to mention that he's the owner of SolRay, which is also aligned with Hire Patriots to help employ more veterans. And so it gives him a lot of free media opportunities and public speaking opportunities that a company wouldn't be able to get if they weren't aligned with a popular nonprofit that supports veterans.
Because obviously you and Tori can't be everywhere all the time.
No.
So it's nice to have some of the younger folks there with a little more energy and things and time on their hands. Of course, doing what you do can't be a whole lot of time on your hands.
No, there's
but it's nice to have another body there to help spread the word.
Well, Brian is really someone that we're really working with to be the next generation of leaders in Hire Patriots. I can't keep doing this forever.
Right.
And so Brian is very dedicated to really taking over the helm of Hire Patriots at some point as well.
So what do you kind of see a vision for Hire Patriots as going forward here? Obviously you've got a lot of good things started. Any other projects that you guys have in mind besides what's happening right now?
Well, we want to make this established in every community across the United States so that veterans in every area have a means to be able to immediately get work and to earn income. Because one of the most debilitating things that a veteran can experience, and any man will experience, is the inability to pay his bills and support his family. And we really don't think that any veteran should have to go through that. So we create free Hire Patriots websites and job boards and give them to communities all across the United States so they too can participate in supporting their local military veterans and their spouses.
Well, we've been talking with the Hire Patriots folks here at hirepatriots.com. Mark and Brian, appreciate you guys being here. And I guess the thing for most folks to take away with this is to go to hirepatriots.com, check out the website, see what events you guys have going on, like the 9/11 job fair coming up here, as well as other ones. Do you guys do job fairs in other parts of the country as well?
Yes, all across the country, because we have veterans who are representing Hire Patriots who have their own Hire Patriots websites all across the country, so they too can hold job fairs and put on marriage retreats and do all sorts of the events that Hire Patriots produces. Our nonprofit is called Patriotic Hearts, and if you go to patriotichearts.org, it actually lists all 15 programs in addition to Hire Patriots that we use to help veterans.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in and sharing, Brian, about your business and what you're doing, and Mark, again, all the folks that you guys help and all the things you guys do with hirepatriots.com. Really appreciate your service. Thanks again for coming in and talking to us at Pace TV.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm Tom Wilson for Pace TV, and we'll see you next time.
If you'd like to find out more
about joining our group here at Pace TV,
please go to our website,
www.pace-tv.com.
It is never too late to have fun.
learning a new skill.
Thanks for tuning in.